Welcome everyone! Today, we're following Mitch and Jake on their journey to renovate a long-abandoned stone silo built back in 1907. Their goal? To transform a decaying agricultural ruin into a luxurious 3-story family retreat. You won't believe how incredible the interior looks once it's finished. So, make sure to watch until the end of the video to see the final result. You definitely won't be disappointed. Diving into the project, their first task is bringing in gravel to raise the ground level. The goal is to build it up until it perfectly aligns with a specific height marked by a laser level. Right outside the silo's entrance, they are also busy clearing and leveling the ground in preparation for pouring concrete for the entryway. Next up, Mitch and Jake assemble and lay down PVC pipes beneath the silo's floor, getting everything ready to run the electrical wiring and internet cables later on. Afterward, Mitch brings in a plate compactor to firmly pack down the layer of gravel at the base of the silo, ensuring a solid foundation for the next stages of construction. Next, they start driving stakes and building the formwork around the silo's entryway in preparation for the concrete pour. To guarantee the concrete reaches the exact right height and is perfectly level, they carefully measure everything out using a tape measure and a laser level. Since the interior walls of the silo are covered in thick moss, Jake sets up a ladder and uses a pressure washer to blast it all away, thoroughly cleaning the stone surface for the next steps. The next day, they lay down a thick plastic vapor barrier to prevent moisture from seeping up from the ground. After that, they install a sturdy rebar grid across both the interior of the silo and the entryway. This steel reinforcement will heavily boost the structural strength of the upcoming concrete floor. Once the concrete pour is complete, they use a bobcat to hoist a long aluminum plank across the entryway, creating a suspended bridge so they can work without stepping on the wet floor. Inside, a worker uses a bull float to perfectly level and smooth out the surface. The best part is the decorative finish. They broadcast a layer of cement powder, carefully place blue rubber stamp mats onto the wet concrete, and step on them to imprint a beautiful natural slate texture. Once the concrete has completely cured, Jake gets to work cleaning the floor. He uses foaming soap, a scrub brush, and a pressure washer to wash away the excess release powder. This process works like magic, bringing out the natural slate texture and allowing the true, vibrant colors of the concrete floor to vividly shine through. Since the stone silo is over a century old, the original mortar has crumbled and deteriorated over time, compromising the structure's safety. To fix this, they mix up a fresh batch of mortar to fill in the gaps and patch up the holes in the stone walls, reinforcing the entire structure. The top edge of the wall has been severely weathered over the years. To fix this, they use an angle grinder to cut deep into the old mortar, then take a hammer to knock off any stones protruding above the cap line. Next, they apply a fresh layer of mortar and trowel the edge perfectly smooth. This step creates a flat, solid bearing plate, setting the perfect foundation for the upcoming roof installation. To access the upper sections inside the silo, Mitch and Jake maneuver a scissor lift into the space. The entryway is incredibly tight, but luckily, the lift fits perfectly through the gap. Their current focus is repairing the interior masonry near the top of the silo, which is in pretty rough shape. They discover that many of the large stones at the very top are so loose they can literally be lifted out by hand. With a major storm forecasted to hit soon, they urgently decide to secure this area to prevent any stones from tumbling down. They start packing mortar into the open gaps. To make sure the new mortar bonds properly, they use a handheld blower to blast all the loose sand, dirt, and moss out of the crevices before patching them up. Since this area will eventually connect to the second floor, they decide to renovate and build the stone wall up higher. The goal is to bring the wall perfectly level with the future second-story floor. Before pouring concrete on top of this wall, they carefully use a laser level to pinpoint the exact minimum height and ensure a perfectly flat surface for the concrete cap. Next up, Mitch and Jake get to work building the wooden forms in preparation for the concrete pour. They use a hammer drill to bore deep holes into both the original stone walls and the newly built section, then drive rebar rods into them. This crucial step securely locks the new concrete cap into the silo's existing stone structure. Now, it's time to move on to one of the most crucial and highly anticipated phases of the entire build: designing and crafting the unique octagonal dome roof for the stone silo. Using their detailed 3D design as a guide, the guys head back to the workshop. Here, they carefully take their measurements and get to work cutting down the first wooden boards to start framing out the roof. Once the lumber is all prepped and ready, Mitch and Jake head back to the silo. However, to make installing the roof as efficient and safe as possible, they decide to tackle the third-floor decking first. Building this out will provide them with a solid, spacious platform and a secure place to stand while working on the roof overhead. To speed up the progress, they don't hesitate to push through and work well into the night. Under the work lights, they meticulously assemble the wooden components together, forming a sturdy octagonal ring to serve as the base for the dome roof. The next morning, Jake notices that the top of the stone wall isn't completely flat and actually slopes slightly inward. To fix this, they have to use quite a few wooden shims to perfectly level out the roof ring. As for the gaps between the wood and the stone wall, they plan to pack them full of mortar once the weather warms up. Next, with the help of a boom truck, they carefully hoist a massive octagonal wooden keystone up to the very peak of the roof. From there, each individual rafter is meticulously installed, connecting the lower octagonal ring all the way up to this central block. To ensure everything fits together perfectly and stays aligned, they use heavy-duty yellow ratchet straps to cinch the entire structure tightly in place. Finally, they drill holes and pound in wooden pegs, combining them with screws to solidly lock all the joints together. Once the structural framing is completely solid, Mitch and Jake get to work nailing down the wooden sheathing across the entire roof. Next, they tackle the exterior protective layers, starting by rolling out a black vapor barrier, followed by installing pink foam insulation boards, and finally, capping off the silo with a beautifully striking copper-brown metal roof. Moving back inside the silo, they install additional corner bracing around the windows. These pieces aren't just for structural support. They are beautifully custom cut to add a stunning decorative touch to the interior space. Moving on to the next phase of the build, Mitch and Jake are officially starting construction on the silo's main entryway right in this spot. Now that the lower support framing is completely solid, the guys get to work on the roof framing for the entryway. First, they securely mount a ledger board flat against the silo's stone wall to act as a structural anchor point. Next, they carefully measure and cut bird's mouth joints into each rafter, installing them to span from the crossbeam over to the stone wall. To ensure a perfect fit, they even have to meticulously chisel away a bit of the stone, creating small pockets for the rafters to sit securely and snugly in place. Once the wooden sheathing is completely nailed down, they use a track saw to trim the outer edges of the roof perfectly flush. Next, they get to work rolling out and stapling down a layer of black, waterproof underlayment across the entire surface, laying down the perfect foundation for the next roofing steps. To ensure the metal roofing fits snugly against the curved stone wall, they use a clever trick, scribing and cutting a piece of scrap metal to match the contour, creating a perfect custom template. They then lay this template over the actual roofing panels, trace the exact profile, and cut along the line with a saw. Finally, the perfectly trimmed panels are hoisted up and securely screwed into place to finish the roof beautifully. Heading back up to the top floor of the silo, Jake has now set up a temporary staircase to make moving up and down the tower much easier and safer. Next, the guys discuss an interesting design idea: cutting a hole right in the floor to drop in a unique custom glass table. Once the plan is settled, they move on to installing wooden paneling on the underside of the floor. This step neatly covers up all the exposed structural framing, giving the interior a clean and finished look. Showcasing a brilliant construction technique, Mitch drops 4 plumb bobs from the corners of the square hole on the top floor straight down to the level below. This clever move allows him to perfectly plumb the lines and pinpoint the exact position for the corresponding cutout on the lower floor. Next, they use a laser level to establish a dead-flat base elevation, creating a perfect baseline before officially setting the heavy-duty floor joists in place. The focus of the work now shifts to the exterior porch area. Here, the guys get to work assembling the structural floor framing and laying down the floor decking. This space is particularly important as, once completed, it will officially serve as the future main entryway into the silo. Next up, the guys start framing out the exterior walls around the porch area for both the first and second floors. The real highlight here is the massive custom-designed windows, which not only flood the space with natural light, but also offer breathtaking views from both levels of the silo. As soon as the entire wall framing is fully assembled and secured, they immediately get to work on the next step, installing oriented strand board (OSB) panels to sheath the entire exterior of the wooden frame. Right after installing the OSB panels, they proceed to roll out and staple down a layer of waterproof wrap. This crucial step protects the wooden structure from the rain, ensuring the surface remains completely dry for the upcoming construction phases. Moving into the next workday, the guys carefully install the glass windows for the uppermost floor. This step doesn't just enclose the space, but also opens up stunning views and floods the highest level of the tower with natural light. With the upper section complete, the guys move downstairs to fit the large door and window frames into the waterproofed walls. Given the immense weight of the glass and the extremely tight tolerances, it takes perfect teamwork and some serious elbow grease to finally maneuver them into position. This serves as the main entryway into the entire silo tower. The clever part of the design is that stepping through this door brings you right onto the second floor, acting as an incredibly convenient central hub where you can easily head down to the first floor or walk up to the third. Continuing with the work, Jake carefully measures and cuts the wooden boards that will be used to trim around the glass windows. This step not only covers up any rough gaps, but also gives the entire window area a crisp, finished look. Not stopping there, the entire exterior wall surfaces, as well as the trims around the doors, are completely clad in wood. This cohesive use of material not only protects the structure, but also gives the silo tower a rustic and incredibly captivating beauty. Moving the action inside to the second floor of the silo, Mitch and Jake reinforce the flooring by installing an extra layer of wood boards over the initial OSB subfloor. This step significantly boosts the load-bearing capacity, creating an incredibly solid and sturdy surface. Once the floor surface is meticulously sanded down until it's perfectly smooth, they proceed to apply a protective coat of varnish. This finishing layer not only gives the wood a glossy look and highlights the grain, but also enhances its long-term durability. Waiting for the floor finish to dry completely, Mitch and Jake take the opportunity to head back outside to the main entryway and start working on the concrete patio. Rather than settling for a standard square pad, they want to add an aesthetic touch with smooth, sweeping curves. To achieve this, they hammer steel stakes into the gravel to bend and secure the flexible white plastic formwork. Right after that, they measure, cut, and tie lengths of rebar into a sturdy grid pattern over the gravel, prepping the steel reinforcement frame before pouring the concrete. With the steel grid fully assembled and properly elevated on plastic rebar chairs, the concrete mixer truck rolls onto the site. Fresh concrete pours out down the chute as a skilled crew jumps into action, using rakes and long aluminum straight edges to spread, level out, and strike off the concrete to the exact grade. Next, to prep for the texturing process, they evenly scatter a layer of release powder across the entire concrete surface. Finally, large rubber stamp mats are carefully placed onto the wet concrete. By stepping on them and using a specialized tamping tool, they expertly imprint beautiful, natural slate patterns across the whole patio. Once the concrete slab has completely cured and hardened, they use a specialized concrete saw to cut grooves, dividing the surface into smaller sections. This is a crucial technical step to create control joints or expansion joints. As concrete dries or experiences temperature fluctuations, it naturally expands and contracts. Proactively cutting these joints helps relieve internal tensile stress, preventing ugly random cracks from ruining the beautifully stamped slate pattern. Moving on to the next phase of construction, Mitch and Jake tackle the staircase for the silo house. The standout feature of this build is that each individual step is crafted and shaped from massive solid blocks of wood, delivering a look that is both rustic and incredibly sturdy. To ensure the staircase structure is dead-on accurate, they use a specialized drill guide. This tool helps create perfectly vertical holes straight through each thick block of wood. Following that, a deep hole is drilled directly into the concrete floor, providing a solid anchor point to firmly set the steel support shaft. Since some of the raw wood blocks feature rather large natural cracks, Mitch and Jake apply a bow tie inlay technique to address the issue. They carefully trace the bow tie outline, combining a router and hand chisels to precisely carve out the recess on the stair tread. Next, wood glue is applied before hammering the custom-cut wooden bow tie keys tightly into the matching pockets. Once sanded completely flush, this inlay acts as a solid lock, permanently preventing the cracks from splitting any further over time. Once the protective finish sprayed on the wooden treads has completely dried and the central steel shaft is firmly secured, Mitch and Jake start transporting these massive blocks inside. They carefully proceed with the assembly, precisely sliding each stair tread into its rightful place on the steel pole. To maximize structural stability, they don't just rely entirely on the central steel shaft. Mitch and Jake proceed to use a drill to drive in extra long timber screws, tightly binding each stair tread to the one immediately below it. This reinforcement ensures the entire staircase acts as one unified, solid block, eliminating any risk of shifting. Next, the guys move on to fabricating the safety railing system for the stairwell and exterior balcony. They measure and cut the wooden posts, carefully drilling a series of evenly spaced horizontal holes. Then, lengths of rebar are skillfully threaded through the uprights, creating a barrier that is not only incredibly sturdy, but also gives off a perfectly rustic, industrial vibe. Continuing with the spiral staircase, they move on to installing the railing, one of the most daunting challenges of the entire silo renovation. Because the rebar is exceptionally thick and rigid, standard bending methods are useless, forcing the builders to bring in a tractor. While one carefully drives the tractor in reverse to pull and bend the steel, the other uses all his physical strength to press it against a concrete ledge to shape the curve. It is an incredibly labor-intensive manual process that demands intense effort and perfect coordination. This is undoubtedly the most challenging phase of the entire assembly. Within the highly confined space of the spiral staircase, the two builders have to coordinate perfectly and struggle to maneuver the heavy, curved rebar, threading it carefully through each small hole in the wooden posts. Moving on to an equally massive project, Mitch and Jake start crafting a large solid wood bar to be placed right on the first floor. After finishing the sturdy load-bearing frame, they work together to lift the giant slab into place, carefully align it, and securely fasten the wooden countertop to the base. Next, they tackle a rather challenging step, installing the fireplace chimney system. Using a heavy-duty drill, they carefully bore right through the solid stone wall to create a precise opening for the exhaust pipe to vent outside. Following Jake's brilliant concept, they fabricate a faux antique beam light fixture for the second floor ceiling. They construct a large, hollow wooden box from panels and cut out 8 holes to install recessed LED lighting. The wood surface is then carefully treated and distressed to mimic the look of an aged oak barn beam before being permanently suspended from the tower ceiling. Moving on to creating a relaxing window seat on the third floor, Jake meticulously measures and cuts the lumber. He skillfully pieces them together, building an incredibly sturdy skeleton frame to support a long bench that runs right along the edge of the wall. Next, to ensure a perfect curve for the seat, Jake lays cardboard over the frame to cut out a precise template. Using this pattern, he traces the outline onto plywood and carefully uses a jigsaw to cut out the wooden base. The plywood is then used as an exact guide on top of extremely thick white foam blocks. With a large saw, they skillfully slice the foam to match the curve perfectly. This meticulous process is the essential groundwork for crafting the plush seat cushions. Moving down to the second floor, Mitch and Jake continue to impress by laying out an incredibly comfortable interior space. Notably, they successfully integrated a highly modern heating system, optimizing comfort and elevating the living experience for the entire house. Entering the final finishing stages of the project, Mitch and Jake focus their attention on crafting a giant octagonal table. This custom-made piece of furniture is specifically designed to sit right in the center, creating a perfect focal point for the entire floor space. Next, they proceed to assemble the table legs integrated with a railing frame surrounding the square opening in the middle of the floor. This cleverly designed structure serves a dual purpose, acting as a safety barrier while also providing an incredibly solid base to support the massive octagonal tabletop above. Since the main bar is located on the first floor, Mitch and Jake engineered a motorized pulley system to optimize the transport of drinks to the upper levels. The hoist motor is securely mounted on the third floor with cables threaded through pulleys attached to the wooden purlins at the very peak of the roof, creating a highly convenient and efficient dumbwaiter system. Here is the final piece to complete the hoist system: a compact table platform attached directly to the pulley cable. It operates as a specialized dumbwaiter, making the transport of food and drinks up and down between the floors incredibly fast and convenient. From an empty, cold grain silo, we've witnessed a truly breathtaking transformation. From the massive solid wood stairs with delicate bow tie inlays, the grand ground floor bar, and the weathered faux beam lighting, to the monumental octagonal table and that genius dumbwaiter system. Through the blood, sweat, and grueling challenges, like bending heavy rebar with a tractor and drilling through solid stone, Mitch and Jake have proven their boundless creativity and master craftsmanship. They didn't just build a house, they forged a vibrant, rustic masterpiece. If you loved this incredible build and are inspired by the guys' hard work, please don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is our biggest motivation to keep bringing you even more epic projects in the future.